is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, last video that we had, I still have it up here on the board as a refresher, as a remembrance. Forgiveness is easy if you're happy and you like yourself and you love yourself. It is easy to forgive yourself and others. So that's what we talked about last time. And the Course kind of says that forgiveness gives you everything that you want. And you can look that up, and I'll make a reference to that in the up here in the corner if you want to refresh your memory. And now this week, whoa, we're going to get a little controversial again in relationship to the egoic belief system. So stick around for a moment while we change things now. And this is our subject for today. So let me kind of read it for you, because when I make diagrams, sometimes they're a little scattered. So today we're going to talk about you see nothing with your eyes. You see nothing with your eyes. And indeed, your senses, all of them, all five, don't tell you anything about what's going on outside of you. Now, in the egoic world, we believe that our senses are telling us what is outside of us. What is outside of us? The outside world, the outside environment, the outside reality. And in fact, don't do any of those things. Your senses don't do any of that. So let's kind of take a look at it and see what we can find out. Now, if you're new to this channel, this is going to be new information. If you have been around for a while, you'll recognize snippets of it. But you might not recognize the whole thing because it's so counterintuitive to the egoic belief system that even though we have gone through this before, you forgot it. Why? Because you don't believe it. You believe the egoic belief system. So it's going to take some time before you recognize how creative you really are, and to use that talent in a new and magnificent way. So here's what we got in our little diagram. We have outside information. Outside of you is information coming to you from the energy system, because outside of you is only energy. And you are taking that information through your senses. The magnificence of the senses takes all that information and converts it into data, electromagnetic and chemical information that you can use inside of you, inside of this mechanism that we call mind, body, and central nervous system. So I drew this little picture out here. And for a minute, make believe it is me. And won't that be fun? Now you are taking in that information about me through your senses. And there's more information than you can possibly use that is meaningful to you. So the first thing you do with that input information, that input data from your senses inside of you, is you look at it through what you know to be true for you, your belief system, which is in your subconscious mind. Your belief system are memories and life experiences that you have coalesced into your belief system. So you look at this outside information from all your senses, but we're concentrating on the eyes right now. And you filter that input information through your past experiences, which are memories. And you are looking for, in this information, things that are meaningful for you based upon your past. If they're not meaningful, if the information isn't meaningful, you just disregard it. Why would you do that? Because it's not meaningful. And so there's a lot of information that just is taken out of the stream of data because it's not meaningful for what's inside of you. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, I can use all that information. No, you can't. If you had no reference to it, it's meaningless. And meaningless information is ignored. So, out of this filtering process, you get meaningful data for you based on your past. So now you have meaningful data. What do you do with the meaningful data? You create inside from the meaningful data what is outside of you. So now you create inside your world. You start here with input information. You filter it down. You're looking for what's important for you and disregarding all the other information because it's meaningless for you. And so you end up with what is meaningful. Outside, meaningless. Inside, meaningful. Remember those two. Outside of you, and by the way, in the course, that's the first lesson. You don't see anything outside that's meaningful until you put a meaning on it inside. And from that meaningful data, you create your world. So, there's a little bit of difference between what is outside of you, the reality, and what is inside of you, your creation. Then you take this very mysteriously and you project it with your conscious mind onto the outside energy system. And therefore, believe, because this turns into a loop of information, input, meaningful data, creation, projection, information, input, meaningful data, and it just goes around and around. This is your world, your creation. This is the outside data. Meaningless. You make it meaningful. In the process, you distort what's outside of you. Therefore, this is important now. This is important. You never, see how I emphasize that? You never see what's outside of you. You only are aware of what you create inside, what you project outside. What a magnificent creator you are. So let's look at what the Course has to say about this and see if it has anything relevant for you. So this is input information for you. Okay? What the Course says. This is kind of profound. So you might want to look it up. It's referenced in the description of the video. No one can suffer. No one can suffer loss unless it is his own decision. No one can suffer pain except his choice elects this state for him. No one can grieve or fear or think himself sick unless these are the outcomes that he wants. You not only are looking at a difference between the outside and the inside that you create everything in your world. Everything in your world flows into existence because of you. Very strange, and that's why it's controversial. All your pain and suffering is a decision. All your grief and sorrow, how you handle that is a decision. Everything is in the mind first, and then you experience it in your world. You want to change your world, you got to change your filter system. You have to filter the outside information, which isn't changing, through your belief system. If you want to filter it differently, you have to change your beliefs. You see why it's controversial? You see why in the egoic world they'll say, oh no, I wouldn't pick this life. I wouldn't pick these hurts and pains. The Course says you did. But it also tells you how you can move and change that. So give that some thought and be good to yourself. You'll see me on here in the video, and you'll see me on here maybe as you create me. Be good to yourself, and we'll see you next time here in the illusion. Bye now.
Standing on the corner with the low-down blues, great big hole in the bottom of my shoes. Honey, let me be your salty dog. Let me be your salty dog, or I won't be your man at all. Honey, let me be your salty dog. Look here, Sal, I know you. Run down stocking and a wore out shoe. Honey, let me be your salty dog. Let me be your salty